Sir,
Ta-da!
it's magic. It's a bare necessity
Dum,
for
dum.
you to be here for
You know,
for
I
a
was
weekly IG live.
I was thinking the same thing when we were talking about the topic. I'm glad to know that good musical choice by you. I'm glad it was available on Pandora.
Yeah. But the real story of the of that post was the the poor execution by these AI platforms. I was very disappointed. I was like,
I looked haggard, haggard.
yeah,
You
I
looked
don't.
like a little cherub.
I like I was talking to like what was crazy was that like I kept asking the AI to make adjustments. I kept asking like ChatGPT, Gemini. I use both of them, and I was like, change this, change that. Eventually, they were like, we can't make any more changes because this system, is not made to uh, like accommodate like and again, and by the way, I would make one request and then I'd like start a whole new one and make the same request. One time it would actually do it.
Yeah.
That's why next time it didn't. It's as if like the AI was getting sick of me.
This is what you look like, sir. You
Yeah,
can't. Yeah.
deal with it.
Did you feed it an image of us?
So I didn't,
That's for
and I
future
think
reference.
I guess like that's yeah. But like like Gemini for example. I mean, it's Google. Like they can easy. I would say Saad and Mike Sokolowski of Torii Homes. Like that's easily searchable. We
Yeah.
pretty easily pop up images because we're such celebrities. You know.
Lazy ass
So,
AI. I know. We're everywhere.
all right, so let's get into it. Bare necessities, agent necessities.
Yes.
Um, like, I mean, there's the obvious ones, right? So
A,
where
a,
we're talking
a
about what?
drive a
Go ahead.
driver's license, a car.
Yeah.
Uh, um, yeah. No criminal record. Well,
Uh,
actually, I don't even know about
that's probably
that.
probably not so accurate.
Probably not.
Uh, I mean, but like a car, the car thing actually, you know what? That's an interesting one. Um, you at least need access to a car, right? I mean, like, but like I know of some people, I've heard of some people, like not on our team and not anybody I've worked with directly, but like, yeah, like this person doesn't have a car. Like she would Uber to showings and things like that. Like
That's amazing.
it is amazing, isn't it?
It's a
Like
lot of money
again,
on Ubers.
I never met that person, but like, wow, that's commitment.
Yeah.
I mean, having a car is a commitment too, but still, like you're not doing it just for, you're not getting a car usually just for work. So,
Right.
or for your for real estate activities. So yeah, I mean, access to a car important. Driver's license almost a must, I think. Um, Real estate license, you might
Your
need
real
that.
estate
Need that,
license,
you know.
which is prop. It's probably tougher to get your driver's license than your real
Yes,
estate license.
yes, I would
Yeah.
agree. I would agree. And and a cell phone.
And a cell phone.
You need those things, right? You need
Hit
those
me up,
things.
doggy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like you need those things in order to like baseline do anything in this business, but or maybe just be a human being.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You doing without a
uh,
phone?
let's get into the not so obvious ones. This is going to be a lot more fun, I think, um, and brokerage specific, I think,
Yeah.
uh, and like individualistic too, right? Like, I mean, obviously, you and I, we've been working together for several years now, and see eye to eye on a lot of things. But that doesn't mean that like we're like we naturally will have some differences in terms of
Right.
how we run our businesses and things like that. But what are some of the not so obvious things, Mike, for you that you think are critical for an agent to be successful?
Yeah. I would say an even temperament, or at least ability to absorb fluctuating temperaments around you
Yeah.
and be calm about that. You know. you have to deliver, you got to deliver bad news or news that might upset somebody, best to do it at that moment immediately than let time pass. That's when I've always had the most anxiety. I realized that it's like, oh, I'll wait like a half hour. There's no reason why I'm waiting a half hour, but
Yeah,
that anxiety builds at that point. So you just
yeah,
like give them the facts straight up and talk it out. Um, so I would say that like us, there probably are introverted people that succeed here, but like for the most part, you got to consistently talk to people. Communication is definitely the main crux of this whole thing because you're like the point person on a transaction that has probably six or seven different parties at
right.
least involved in it.
And they're
So
all
like I
different.
guess like
They're all like
yeah,
every human being that you're going to interact with is different, and especially when it's such high stakes as a real estate transaction, you're gonna, yeah. You, I think Mike made a really good point. Not even something. It's not even something I thought of was that like you need to be able to like handle that, and that's part of the highs
hmm
and lows, right? You're gonna because for example, you might have certain news that for some one part of the transaction they feel great about. And somebody else, they're not like going to be excited about that news. How do you handle that?
hmm
Right? Those are
yeah,
obviously totally different conversations, and you have to be able to like this is a must. You have to be able to handle that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so that's a good one. Um, I think another thing that is important is a team. I think you need
When you
and
start, yeah, definitely.
yeah, like you need mentorship. Um, you need coverage. You need partners that you can ask questions.
hmm
Like we're talking like lenders, attorneys, inspectors. Like we don't know everything. Sometimes we pretend to, but we don't know everything. And we have to message people to get the answers, and we need to be able to
Yeah,
tell our clients, yeah, like look, I've got somebody I can ping to get that question for you, and I'll have an answer for you by the end of the day, or in a couple hours, or what have you. I think having a good team is good for culture, right? Like you don't want to be on an island. Not in this business.
no,
It's
no,
already
that's for compute. Yeah, I think like when I'm away from people for a while or not talking to like the team or the partners as often, like it's a certain rhythm you have to be in. It's easier solo to like not have you to be like showing of the characteristics that will help the deal. Like your personality, not just like being jovial and fun and whatever. Your personality in terms of like how on top of things you are, how
yeah,
directly you can communicate, and all that stuff is not like a. For me, it is there a lot of times, but it definitely takes some prep work in the morning to like lock in
yeah,
to stuff.
yeah. Like yeah. I mean, and that prep work. Uh, like for you, what does that look like? How do you like lock in? Like because that's one thing I want to kind of like close a little bit later talking about is commitment, right? You do that prep work because you're committed. You're committed to a lot of different
Yeah,
things, which you touch on. But like, what do you do to prep for the day?
I've picked up bits here and there throughout. I mean, exercise is important. Not to say that I do it every morning, but
Yeah,
I think like getting the blood flowing gets you a little more animated so that you can talk to people so you're not flat
yeah,
doing that. Um, have picked up meditation over the years. Another thing that's not an everyday thing, but like sometimes it just thoughts can become so intrusive that you need to like settle down and realize that it's all most of the shit's made up in your brain and you
yeah.
can let pass. And then the main thing is like taking action on something because a problem might seem like much bigger than it is when you're not in it doing the little bits to help advance it or solve it or move it
Hmm.
forward on that. So like getting into it immediately and don't like hypothesize too much on what should be done.
Yeah, avoid the analysis paralysis kind of
Yeah,
conundrum.
it's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough.
and that's like a that's Mike Sokolowski giving us all a life lesson. Like that's
Yeah.
you're right. It is tough. I mean, it's we're human natures. We're human, and that's our nature to kind of like overanalyze, and especially when you're in a people business. Um,
Yep.
so I think, yeah, 100%. Like I think Mike hit on something as he was talking about like the exercise and meditation and what have you. I think it's really important to carve out time in your day. Um, Yo 716 JP benched three. What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining.
What's up?
Um, we're talking about agent necessities. We're talking about the things that agents need to be successful. Mike just talked about some of the things that he does to lock in for the day because that's super important. And I think that goes to one of the points I wanted to bring up was carving out time for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Making sure you commit to that time, whether it's to like obviously to exercise and for your health, but for your family, having the ability to say no. That's actually a huge one, I think. Like, because
Totally.
there's so much, there's so much stuff going on, especially once you get kind of cooking in this business. Like, um, it's easy to feel like you need to do everything to kind of, you know, keep things going. Like once like a few deals close in the next couple of weeks and stuff like that. No, don't feel like you have to do everything. In fact, like
Yeah.
sometimes it's good not to do something so you can kind of just like have some time for yourself and for your loved ones and what have you. So I think that's a really good point you made. I think organization tools are a must.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
I think I was talking to actually our coach Matt earlier before you jumped on. I was talking about um, like what I mentioned was like the idea of a CRM is something that's honestly like it seems relatively new in real estate, like much newer in real estate than it has been in sales in general,
Uh
right?
huh.
And I've been in sales my whole life, and I've been using CRM tools since day one. But like, if you're a real estate agent not using a CRM, like you're you're in trouble. Like you need to use a CRM to stay organized, and even if you are generally organized, to stay efficient.
Yeah.
Like it's really important. You need to be organized in terms of your calendar. You need to be organized in terms of your contacts, in terms of your expenses. You mentioned communication earlier. Be organized on that. Who you're communicating with, when, having systems in place for that. That's that's something that like I think gets lost on the wayside. Like if you're you know, people talk about marketing, people talk about, uh, you know, staying informed and education and all that kind of stuff. But the organization piece, like to really be a good business person, like you need to have organization or
Yeah.
people to help you organize. And probably best to start by you organizing yourself. So um, the the next piece I mean was a marketing plan. Mike, how important do you think a marketing plan is for success in this business?
I think it makes things a lot easier if you know when you're going to be get yourself in front of people and what that might look like in the different avenues that it might take. I think from the earlier talk, the paralysis by analysis, you can one try to mimic anything that's online and go with trends and things like that, and there is usefulness to knowing like what's up in terms of how people are consuming things, and if you're a video versus a carousel versus a single post versus a story,
Yeah.
whatever, those are all like metrics that you can test and follow and adjust accordingly. But I think that the chasing like the trends online is useless unless it fits with you. If there's something like, oh yeah, like we should hop on that because that's more our speed. Trying to keep up with like the trending music and what the new dance is and the stupid like the other like pranks and trends and stuff like that.
Right.
It just dilutes who you actually are.
Yeah.
Um, so I think like we come at it from an angle of, does this fit us, and then we go and do that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. And I think like, every brokerage is different, but every agent is different. And so when I
Yeah.
say marketing plan, it's not like your team's marketing plan, it's your marketing plan. And like there might be some like general like pillars or tenets or whatever you want to call them for a marketing plan, but it's really yours and it's going to be unique to you. And to your point, it's got to be thought out and it's got to be like it's got to be you. And if it's not a plan. It's like copying and pasting, like
Yeah.
and plagiarizing in this business is it never works. Like it never works. And it could be a fad, right? And you want to kind of like do something related to that or something, but like
Hmm.
within the confines of again your plan and what you want to. How you want to present yourself both as a brand and as an agent and I think that takes that and it's not going to be perfect every time but
No.
it does but you keep doing it and you keep keeping that in the top of in the back of your mind your entire plan will kind of like come together in like a flywheel type of way uh, and I think again I think that's critical for success long-term success in this
Yeah.
business um,
There's a lot of systems that, and I think they talk about like diet and exercise plans and weight loss in the same way of like, yeah, there's a ton of them. Just follow one of them,
yeah.
but stick to that one. They're all probably proven to work at a point. You have like Keller Williams has the I'm gonna screw this up. It was like ingrained in my head, like the 32 touch system or something like that, where like either by mail or by text or by phone call or by email or by social media and however you want to break it out, you get in touch with somebody like once a month in some way, and you organize it by letters of the alphabet, and like that's a very simple system. And earlier on, I'm like overthinking that or whatever. Like, yeah, it's good. Keep it simple. Keep it
Yeah.
as simple as possible for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah,
So,
then that prevents being overwhelmed. It prevents like you know it prevents like that negative self speak to be like, oh, I don't have time for that. Like my system's better than that. Blah blah blah. All
yeah,
that stuff. Like that stuff's not going to help you,
what
right?
a difficult dragon to slay.
Uh huh.
That one. Yeah.
Um, I think another not so obvious thing that you need to succeed is support.
Hmm.
From people that depend on you, obviously your family. Like that's really important. Like, and the reason I bring that up is because this business is unlike a lot of others. Like you're working potentially 7 days a week. You're or likely 7 days a week.
Yeah.
If you're busy,
Yep.
uh, even on vacation, you're like answering messages and things like that. Uh, there could be like you're out to I mean, there's so many reels and memes made about this, right? Like what it's like to date a real estate agent, and like you're at dinner with them, and like picking up the call on the phone, trying to negotiate a deal. Like that happens. Like,
Yeah.
that happens sometimes. So I think support from your team, but at the same time being able to kind of be a master of your calendar and compartmentalizing and making sure that you have time for both of those important things. Very very important, and it takes time to master that. I mean, I haven't even mastered it.
Yeah.
My wife will tell you that.
It's all tweaks and adjustments of
Hmm.
all that stuff. Yeah. Like, if I see an email from you at 2 a.m., I know you might be tired the next day. Like, I don't.
There's a possibility. How
Same thing
how
for me.
important
So,
Yeah, Mike, how important do you think social media is for just general social media? Forget the channel, but for success in real estate.
indispensable, right? At this point, like, that's where, I don't know, I think of like like in-person interactions have and it's an unfortunate part of like just living in this day, but
Jackie,
you
what's
know,
up?
that,
How you doing? Jackie,
what's up?
Jackie just joined.
All right,
But
what's up, Jackie?
but
It,
I mean, I agree. I think social media is to the point where um, if if you're not like it's such a and we've talked about this at length, but I'm going to say it on the live is that like if you're not on it, if you're not consistent with it, you're losing a really easy way to stay top of mind with
mm-hmm,
your sphere, the people who follow you, the people who engage with you. If you're not consistent with that, regardless of what the medium is, Instagram, LinkedIn,
yep,
TikTok, whatever, uh, if you're not consistent with it, and if you're not on it, then you have to work that much harder to stay top of mind, right? Social media, as you know, as kind of like cesspoolish as it is, like it's a great tool if you use it right.
yeah. Now that's the difficulty of like you know, what people put out and how and what they choose to post reveals more about like what they're choosing to post than probably what it actually
Hmm.
is themselves. You know, if it's the same like surface level stuff, like I get it, like a nice dock with a boat is nice or whatever, but if that's all you see, like, I don't know this person at all. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like flash. So,
Right.
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 I like when people have perspective on things, like a different
Yeah.
perspective, and you like kind of get the insight as to how they're thinking. That's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Absolutely. And I'll say this too um, for any aspiring agent is like, or if you are already an agent, like the follower count doesn't matter. Like
Right.
I've seen people who have many followers who struggle to do deals. And I've seen people who don't have that many followers but have an engaged following. They do really well.
Yeah.
So understand the difference, right? Like
It's supplemental, 100%. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's a understand the difference and understand kind of what you want to do with your following, so to speak. So
Hmm.
and stick to it. Have a plan. We talked about that before. Like this is all related, by the way. So like if you do this right, it's like kind of clockwork as you kind of get some reps in. A couple other, I think, in my view, no brainers. I know we got a few minutes, so like I think you need an accountant
Yep.
like eventually as you start doing some deals, make sure you're doing your taxes properly and saving as much money as possible and putting your money into the right accounts. We talked about we did a little impromptu financial planning session the other day,
Hmm.
right? I think one thing Mike and I are trying to work on, not a must, but I think it's important in terms of having clarity on your goals and the whole concept of like putting pen to paper and writing things down is a vision
Hmm.
board.
Hmm.
I think a vision board. We were brought on to that idea, a couple of months ago. We haven't done it yet, admittedly, but it's something that Mike and I will do. Like it's important because it's not just important for us to put that stuff down for ourselves, but since Mike and I work together so closely, it's important for us to know about each other's goals, so we can
That's
kind
right.
of do what we need to do to support each other and do the same for our agents. So eventually, our goal is that all our agents are doing this. But I mean, it's not fair for us to ask our agents to do it until we do it ourselves.
So we do it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Tell me about your dreams, Saad.
exactly. I think one last thing, Mike, I want to get your thoughts on. Is commitment, right? We touched on this, you know, early on in the live, but I think there was a quote. There was something somebody said at a conference I was at a couple of weeks ago. Um, Everyone is interested in real estate, right? But the
Yep.
question is whether you are committed,
Yeah.
right? That kind of like really spoke to me, like because I was like, yeah, you're right. You go to any event, you go to any kind of like dinner party, you're at Thanksgiving, like you're at your family's house. People are talking about real estate everywhere, so
Hmm.
everyone's got interest in it, right? People talk
So
about
and
interest
so
rates, blah
selling
blah
the
blah.
house. This person bought up the street.
There
This
are
person's
signs
having a tough
everywhere.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are signs everywhere. Like, look, everyone's interested in real estate, right? Um, but like, do you have commitment to your clients? Do you have commitment to staying top of mind, like the marketing piece of it? Do you have commitment to showing up to events and like, using your evenings and your weekends to build your brand and build your business to support your family, right?
Hmm.
Commitment to being a student of the industry because things are changing all the time. Just in the last year plus, right? Like 12, 13 months, two major things have changed in
Two
the
major.
industry. So
Yeah.
like, do you know that? Do you know the details? Are you kind of, do you have the people around you to support you on that stuff? And then Mike said something earlier about highs and lows. Like, you got to have commitment to weathering them.
Yes.
You have to have commitment to staying steady, right? And what is and if you don't have any of those things, if you don't have, I mean, if you don't have any of those things, you definitely should not be an agent. But like, if you're missing one or two of those, it can be a problem, right? So I think all that stuff is critical to success in this business. But I'm pretty sure you agree. But is there anything else commitment wise that you would mention is like, particularly important as one tries to grow their business?
Um, I think that you just the commitment is anticipation of needs and problems on the horizon. Um, and if you're willing to like, I think we talked about it on a prior pod, but had some people freak out about the structure of their basement. And so I picked up on the weekend, and then by Monday, I had organized something where me and the inspector would back out at that property. Some people would be like, it's fine. It's too late in the process because they have no protection of it. It was just like a freak out. But I was like, okay, like the only way I can quell these fears
Yeah.
is by going back out to the property and then, calling it. She's like, hey, like I was honest. I was just like, can you help me help my client so this is a smooth last 10 days?
Right.
Like we're aware of the situation. I'm not trying to be sneaky here. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
commitment to like if you can start to see in advance, that helps out a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, but like, yeah, that's, I think at the core, it's commitment to your clients and providing a
Hmm.
good service, right? Like, if you do that, this other stuff, like thinking ahead and being like, oh, I know this is bothering my clients, and like, I want to jump on it and leverage my team and leverage my like the partnerships we have and make sure that they have a good experience and that they're feeling good about it. I don't want to say things like, oh, it's going to be fine and this happens
Yeah.
all the time. That doesn't make people feel better, right?
No.
So I think that's really important, and just, I mean, as a whole, like, if you're trying to get into this business, if you are in this business, you should ask yourself that question, like, how committed are you to this,
Hmm.
right? uh, because if you're not, like, Mike and I will eat your lunch.
That's right.
We're waiting. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, like, I think it's a tough job. It's a tough job, and it's not for everybody, and that's okay.
Mhm.
But that is, I think, that's something that kind of, like, it's something like we're going to ask in, like, any time an agent's trying to join Torii, that's going to be like something that we ask everybody. So,
Yeah.
and there's a good reason for it, because the commitment is, like, not everybody's going to have the level of commitment that is required in order to provide the level of service that, clients not just like want, they need, like,
Yeah.
especially in the
They
current,
deserve
especially
it.
in Greater Boston, but like,
Mhm.
in general, so so yeah, any last words, Mike? I think we covered everything.
I'm out.
That's it. All right.
That's it.
Stay committed to joining us next week on Story Time and every week
Yes. Stay
thereafter.
committed to story
Wednesdays,
time. That's
4:45
it.
p.m. Be here or be square, or be there or be square, whatever it is. And he's Mike. I'm Saad. This is Story Time. Peace out.
Bye, everybody. Bye bye.